Guys, I'm gonna start this thing off by saying do not expect any Oscar movies to appear on this list. I don't want to drive 45 minutes to an independent theater to watch a nigga get a hand job on the beach. Great film, but not my cup of tea.
Take a molly like a million. My little girl, like what you doing? I'm just trying to even on my eyes. Sip and sip till I feel like a god.
Wonder Woman was DC's first hit, and I'm not just talking money-wise. People actually like the movie. And it's great. It's good to finally see something good coming out of DC. Gal Gadot delivers a strong performance as Wonder Woman, and Patty Jenkins does a great job directing the action and keeping that chemistry alive between Chris Pine and Wonder Woman. And for that, you get a mention. Nice job. Thor Ragnarok, you were this close to making the list. You were like this close. My thing is just I gotta have a limit on superhero movies on this list, or else it's just gonna be like, oh, well, that's all this nigga likes is superhero shit. This is by far Thor's best film, and probably one of the most entertaining films of the year. So, nice job. And finally, Girls Trip. Guys, I did not expect this movie to be good at all. I thought this movie was gonna be trash. I was just like, oh, whatever, girls go on vacation, and, you know, some shit ensues. But, you know, that's pretty much the movie. But it's funny as shit. It is so funny. Tiffany Haddish, I swear to God, if Melissa McCarthy could get nominated Best Supporting Actress for Bridesmaids, then Tiffany Haddish should get the same for this movie, because she kills this shit. She is by far the star of the show. She is funny as shit. It's definitely a funny movie, and if you haven't seen it yet, then you should definitely go check it out. Now let's get to the list.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Coming in at number 10, The Big Sick. This film was written and directed by Kumail Nanjiani and his wife, and it is such a good movie. This movie is far better than your average romantic comedy, and I think it's because it just feels so personal. Honestly, Girls Trip was almost in this position, but I just feel like this movie, it just feels like it's more from the heart, I should say. God, that's cheesy. But it is. Like, the only reason this movie beat out Girls Trip was because, like, Girls Trip feels like kind of more studio manufactured, like, you know, it's just very kind of run-of-the-mill. But this movie, it just feels very personal. And on top of that, Kumail had some lines in this movie that had me dying way harder than I was laughing in Girls Trip. And for that, you get the number 10 spot. There was a lot of love it or hate it movies that happened in this last year. But this next movie, I loved it.
Dyke bitches talking out they jaw. Next minute calling for the law. This 9 I have them calling for the law.
Guys, I never thought this movie would have pulled in the box office that it did. This movie had the balls to come out a week after Planet of the Apes, and it destroyed it in the box office. Apparently the people love this little director named Christopher Nolan enough that they actually come to the theater and watch his films. One thing I would recommend is to see this on the biggest screen possible, because the shots in this movie are absolutely amazing. Fantastic. I went and saw this movie in IMAX, and it was worth all the money. All of my money. I think the reason people had a lot of negative things to say about this movie was that, you know, its characters, you know, they're kind of all over the place. You really don't get to spend time with one character and just really get like a connection with them, like with any of them at all. And I get that, that's fine. But to say that this movie was not the most thrilling hour and 45 minutes for me to get through would be a lie. Because once the movie starts, you're in it, and it is so intense. It's just Christopher Nolan coming around and showing us how big his movie dick is. And it's very large.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account. Yeah, in my bank account. Yeah.
War for the Planet of the Apes. Guys, to say that this trilogy of movies isn't one of the best trilogies to come out in like the last decade would be a lie. Not the best, but it's really damn good. Like, it's really, really good. Probably better than it should have been. Honestly, guys, everything about this movie is great. The special effects are top-notch shit. Top notch. Andy Serkis's motion capture performance is fantastic, and it delivers a final chapter to this trilogy that's better than the other two. Does the movie drag a little bit? Yeah, it does, but I'm okay with that. Guys, this next movie, probably none of you have heard of it, but it's on Netflix. Go watch it on Netflix right now.
I'm allergic to a bitch nigga, ayy. An imaginary rich nigga, ayy. 7 figures, how that slimmer than my bitch figure, ayy.
Mudbone is a fantastic, fantastic movie. Honestly, if it wasn't such a downer of a movie, it would probably like be number 1 or 2 on my list. This movie is about 2 World War II vets coming home to racist ass Missouri or Alabama, wherever they are. One of them is black, one of them is white, and the black guy's family works for the white guy's family, and so racial tension ensues. What's great about this movie is the performances. They are just absolutely out of this world. Carey Mulligan, Jason Mitchell, Mary J. Blige, everybody absolutely kills this shit. And aside from the performances, the film's message is the best thing about the movie. It says that the power of love can overcome anything. It's fantastic. It's a great movie, but it's a downer. It's a bit of a downer. Some racist shit happens, and it's very dark, and you're not gonna like it, but it's a great, great movie. Guys, none of you are gonna agree with this next one.
I'm a real young nigga from the 6th throwing balls. I'm a real young nigga from the 6th throwing balls.
But John Wick 2, my god, goddamn, fucking headshot fiesta. Who would have thought that a movie about a man killing like 150 people for killing his puppy would turn out to be some of the most gangsta shit ever? Keanu Reeves is an absolute savage. Absolute savage. The man is in here doing 80% of his own stunts, and he's just whooping ass. The whole movie, just absolute ass whooping, and it just gets better and better and better and better as the movie goes on. Like, I have not seen a better practical action movie like that in years and years and years. Minimal green screens, nothing but stunt work and fantastic choreography. If you don't like these movies, I do not get you. I don't understand how you could not like these movies. Just a man getting revenge, and in this one they just expand on that, and it's just, oh, it's so good. If you got HBO Go, go watch it on HBO Go. Please, do yourself a favor.
Top 5, no debating. Top 5, top 5, top 5.
Coming in at number 5 is probably one of the best horror movies of the last decade. It. I love this movie because it wasn't just your average everyday horror movie. It wasn't about ghosts or any of that bullshit. It was about something. It's about friendship and facing your fears. And there's a scary ass clown that scared the shit out of my inner 12-year-old. So this movie ended up being everything that I wanted it to be. Is it the best horror movie of all time? No. Is it the scariest thing of all time? No. But it's a lot better than all the other bullshit that's been coming out.
Million on me, Jay-Z.
Guys, I think it's fair to say that Baby Driver is probably one of the best car racing, driving, whatever you want to call it, movies that has come out since The Fast and the Furious. Guys, I've never seen a heist movie like this. I've never seen an action movie like this. The stunts that they do with the cars are absolutely insane. The way they use the music in this movie is just, it's never been done before, like ever. I've never seen a movie do this before. I've never seen a movie where every single beat is synced up with the music. And that is just some insane, insane shit. And you get great performances out of Ansel Elgort, Lily James, Jamie Foxx, John Hamm, and Kevin Spacey. Even though that man is going through some shit right now. This is a great, great movie. It's like the definition of what a summer blockbuster should be. Guys, we all knew this was coming.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man Homecoming. After years and years and years of Spider-Man being under Sony's umbrella, we finally get to see what it's like when Marvel makes a Spider-Man movie. And it is by far the best Spider-Man ever. What I liked about this movie is that we did not retread any steps from any other previous Spider-Man movies. So there's no Uncle Ben death scene. There's no Peter trying to learn his powers. None of that shit. We start the movie and Spider-Man is Spider-Man doing Spider-Man shit. The way they do Spider-Man in this movie is fantastic because he's a boy and he's not some 32-year-old ass man crying in the middle of Central Park. And they actually have a really good villain in Michael Keaton's Vulture. Probably the best villain the MCU has had. He's trying to do right by his family, and so I feel like that adds a little more substance to his character. Guys, this next movie is probably one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. Logan is by far the best superhero movie to come out this year. Let me tell you guys about Wolverine movies. They're trash. All of them were, until this year. And Logan came and blessed our movie theater screens. R-rated Wolverine is something that I've been wanting to see since I was like 10. Watching X-Men movies and just see Wolverine stab somebody, and then there's like no blood, there's like no holes. It just really kind of didn't make sense. So it's like, is he killing these people? Like, what's really going on? Or is he some wholesome family hero that we should all root and cheer for? And in this movie, they're like, he's fucking killing people. He is killing people like a madman. The first 5 minutes of the movie, literally the opening scene of this movie, is everything that I've been wanting ever. They could have stopped the movie there. I'd have been like, alright, shit, I'm chilling. When he stabs dude in the face and just rips it out, oh my god. It's not even just like the blood and gore and all the violence. It's how they treat Wolverine. If Hugh Jackman does not get nominated for an Oscar, I know what you're thinking, whoa Fox, settle down, settle down. But the man has blessed us for the last 17 years, giving us fantastic Wolverine performances, and this is the best one by far. If that is not dedication to a role, I do not know what is. Give the man an Oscar. At the very end of the movie, when Laura, oh my god, little X-23 with her claws and her feet claws, absolute savage. At the end of the movie, when Laura put the X down, I damn near shed a tear. I walked out of that movie sad. I walked out of that movie excited. I walked out of that movie just happy that we got the Wolverine that we've been always wanting to see in Hugh Jackman's final performance. Logan is by far one of the best superhero movies of all time. Alright guys, this is it. Number one, the number one movie of 2017 is...
God bless America, you know we all love them. Yesterday I got a call like from my dog like 101. Said they killed his only son because of insufficient funds.
This movie, man, is just... it is absolutely insane. Let me just say, it is batshit crazy. But at the same time, with how crazy it is, it's talking about real ass shit that happens in the world today. I mean, there's no white people implanting their brains into niggas, but they talk about race in America without really even talking about it in like the weirdest way. And it is absolutely bizarre, but in a way, I found myself relating to the main character in this movie. I can't remember the main character's name, but he's played by Daniel Kaluuya, and he gives a fantastic performance. Absolutely amazing. This film is number one because I have not seen a more relatable film all year. For instance, in that scene where they're having the party and everybody's coming up to him, they're all staring at him and they're like touching him, they're touching his hair, touching his skin. They're like, oh my god, a black person. That was like 6th grade for me. I probably went to one of the whitest schools around. There was like me and 2 other black kids. So I walked around that bitch and everybody's like, and people like to touch my hair. People are like, oh my god, do you like Ludacris? Like, and it wasn't just at school. It's like every time me and my family want to go to like the Cheesecake Factory, motherfuckers just can't help but to stare at us like they've never seen niggas before. And so this scene with the party, this shit gave me anxiety. I was just like, oh my god. I was like, please stop. I was like, cause I knew exactly how he felt. I was like, why are all you motherfuckers staring at me? What are you guys doing? I've never felt like that in a movie. Ever. I feel like all white people need to watch this movie. Your white friend that says nigga a lot, he needs to watch this movie. Your grandparents who make slightly racist comments, yeah, they definitely need to see this movie. Like, everybody needs to see this movie. It's like the most bizarre way to talk about the world that we live in, but at the same time, they do like the realest shit. Like at the very end, when our main character, when he has his hands wrapped around old white girl's neck, and then the police sirens go off, like, it was just, that is like the realest moment in that entire movie. That's like America in a nutshell. It doesn't matter what happened at the house, what these white people were trying to do. As long as the police saw this nigga with his hands wrapped around white girl's throat, it's done. The nigga's going to jail. It doesn't matter. You're going to jail. And everybody in the theater, when I went to go see this movie, everybody groaned when the police sirens went off. Everybody was like, oh no. Come on, because everybody knows that that's the world that we live in. And my god, it's just the realest shit. Like, I love this movie so much. This is like a horror movie, and yet some of us go through the same shit on a day-to-day basis. Like, it's absolutely insane. Oh, and how dare the goddamn Golden Globes to nominate this as a comedy. Like, that is the worst thing you could possibly do to this movie. This movie talks about things, and you're gonna call this movie a comedy? Like, this is almost goddamn offensive. Like, what are you doing? And while I'm here, you're not even gonna nominate Tiffany Haddish for Girls Trip, even though she had one of the best performances all year. And honestly, it's not even the fact that they didn't nominate her. It's the fact that they didn't even go see the damn movie. It's like, how is Get Out nominated as a comedy, but Girls Trip isn't nominated at all? Like, it just doesn't make a lick of sense. It's kind of like they're pretty much saying, this movie that kind of says some real ass shit every now and again, it's a joke. And then Girls Trip, which is funny as shit, doesn't even get a chance. It's like, it's fucked up. I'm not gonna sit here and try and be like an activist or anything like that and just be like, Oscar's so white, but y'all need to throw some goddamn respect on some of this black art, cause y'all ain't showing no respect at all. Alright guys, that's the list. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the shits, and I swear to God, if you watch Get Out and you motherfuckers are still staring at me and my family inside a macaroni grill, I will slap a bitch. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Say, black is beautiful, be black and proud.